everyone today?
Fabulous.
All right. Gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce Jennifer Salisbury. Jennifer is a U.S. Naval Academy graduate and former nuclear engineer aboard the USS Enterprise. Soon to be Dr. Salisbury, she's on track to complete her doctorate of education at Walden University. As an experienced business developer, her clients task her with everything from operation manuals to website development. Jennifer is 34 years old and with the support of her husband Michael has her goal set in earning the accredited speaker designation. She is also a finalist on the new Discovery Channel Canada show, Know It All. And she should find out soon if she's going to be a candidate. Jennifer and her family live in Powell River, British Columbia, and Maui, Hawaii. The title is Leading Without a Leash. Let's welcome Jennifer Salisbury.
Toastmaster colleagues. Leadership. Peter Drucker said, management is doing things right, but leadership is doing the right thing. Maybe you've heard that before. Leadership. Leadership is all about setting the example. You've heard all that before. Leadership. Maybe you've heard this one. The speed of the leader is the speed of the game. Yeah. Now I could stand up here for the next 40 minutes or so and give you bumper sticker leadership sayings and quotes from leaders of various types. And in a coffee-induced stupor, you could sit there like bobbleheads and go, Jen, yes. We've heard those before. We've gone to conferences before. But what good would that do us all? It's pretty boring for me, and probably boring for you as well. I'm guessing a lot of you are leaders in your Toastmasters Club. Yes? Yeah. There's that bobblehead nod. And I'm sure at some point in your Toastmasters career, you've gotten a bit frustrated. And maybe you've even thought, I wish everyone in my club was just like me. It would be so much easier. What if everyone was just like you? Every meeting would be boring. Right? Because you already would know what they were going to say and speak about. And there wouldn't be a capacity for leadership. So that rather than stand up here and recite a bunch of stuff that you've already heard, I'd rather bring to you a couple of personalities that I bet are in your Toastmasters Club. And let's look at their leadership needs. Dad, having fun at D21 comp so far, ... Some lady named Jana Barnhill, .. is here, ... Cool. Sick. Oh. And Jessica. Dad wanted me to check in. You know, I'm 19. I just graduated high school. I don't know how to communicate other than on my phone. I've been to 2 meetings so far. Okay. I'm a little confused though, because the lady that ran the meeting last week ran that stoplight thing this week. And the guy who was the Grimolian or whatever it is, he spoke this week, and I don't quite get it. Where does me and my little notebook fit into that? Anybody have a brand new Toastmaster member? Maybe young in life, young in Toastmasters in their club? Yeah. And even if you don't, you can certainly relate with someone that thinks like that, right? They haven't had a whole lot of life experience, and so they really haven't had a lot of time with confrontation and learning, right? The longer we are around, the longer we can learn how to communicate. Now Jessica is a special case because she is brand new. 19 years old, right out of high school, right? So how are we going to lead her? We're leaders in Toastmasters. How do we lead her? Let's figure that out. Each one of you should have a blank piece of paper in front of you. If you don't, here, I'll get you one. And across your blank piece of paper, I would love for you to write, My Toastmasters Club. My Toastmasters Club. Everybody equipped? And under My Toastmasters Club, I want you to write a number 1. And Jessica, this new person in life and this new person in Toastmasters, is searching for what I call the rules. This is no different than any other new thing we do in life, right? We go to a new job or a new school. We want to know the basics. So she's searching for, right? So under number 1, the rules, I'd like you to write 2 or 3 rules of your club. Now let me give you an example before you start writing. This could be, maybe your club has a protocol for arriving late or leaving early. Maybe there's a protocol for a dress code. In my club, the Sunshine Speakers in Powell River, we have a rule that if you cannot make your roll for a meeting, you're to notify the Toastmaster and find a replacement. That's one of our rules. So knowing that is the rules, what kind of rules could we tell Jessica to help make her more comfortable? 2 or 3 from your club. Got at least one. Sure, we could go on and on. But you can see where we're going with this. The rules are the inherent things that we sort of know as our seasoned Toastmasters go along that may not be written down anywhere else. Right? The rules. What I'd like you to do, anybody want to share one of the rules with me? Yes.
No electronic or communication devices during the meeting?
No electronic devices during the meeting. Brilliant. I love that one. That's a great one. Yes.
You have a mystery member, and you have to go around and it's suggested you go around and introduce yourself to everybody. And if you not the guests, but the members, if you don't shake the mystery member's hand, he does a report, and then you have to pay 25 cents into the.
Ooh, that's a good one. Did everybody hear that? The mystery member. That's nice. One more. Anybody else want to share a rule? Sharon?
Just respectful listening. Like if you disagree with somebody, don't be talking over them while they're on stage.
There you go. Respectful listening. I like that one. Yes?
Our starting time is important.
Starting time is important. That is important.
Yes.
That is a very important rule in our meetings. Now, as leaders, it's important that we send messages and communication to our new members especially that are correct. Just take another look at your rules. Are those really the rules? Because as much as I would love to tell you that every time somebody cannot fill a role in my club, inevitably the Toastmaster is not informed and their replacement is not found. Right? So while I would tell Jessica that's a rule, as a leader I must ask myself, what did I just teach her?
Best practice.
Is that really the rule? Exactly. Right?
We don't follow the rules.
Right. So be careful what you're teaching.
Hey, you gotta walk the walk.
So check your rules. Exactly, you've got to walk the walk. Now you don't have to be new in life or new in Toastmasters to have questions. How about this one? Go Canucks. I'm Justin. I'm 21 years old. And I own my own roofing business. I got into Toastmasters. Softball was full, so I got into that. And you know, I'm already 6 speeches into it. I got my hat speech fever in. And I gotta tell you, I'm a little bit disappointed that it's gonna end so soon. You know, 10 speeches, it's not that long, right? But there's a lot of people that have been in Toastmasters longer than me. 10 speeches? That's all I have to do. They're dragging it on, aren't they? Right? So while I still have a couple months to the end of the year and then soccer starts, I don't know if I want to finish my last speeches. You know, doing my 10 in my little notebook. I don't know if that's what I want. But nobody else seems to be telling me anything else, so soccer's looking pretty good. How many of you know someone, probably a former Toastmaster, that did their 10 and got out? Right? I'm married to one. My husband did his 10 and got out about 20 years ago. I joined Toastmasters and he says, just do your 10. Get out. That's what it's good for. Where do people get this idea? Good question, right? There's a couple of different ways they get this idea in their mind that there's only 10 speeches involved. Maybe because that first CC manual has 10 speeches in it. That's normal. But it's looking past that. That's the role of the club. What I call the attitude. Or the culture, right? So guess what? On your sheet of paper, number 1 is the rules. Number 2 is the culture. And what I'd like you to write under the culture, I'd like you to write down a description, just a short description, of the culture in your club. Mine would be inspiring. That would be my description of my club. And yes, you can steal that if you want. Just write down a quick description of your club, of the culture of your club. Good start to it. Underneath your description, I'd like you to write 1 or 2 things that you personally are doing to support that description. What are you personally doing to support that description? Got at least one thing. Thinking about it, you could probably do lots because I know you're overachievers, aren't we? Mm-hmm. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to turn to someone next to you that you don't know and share not only your description but what you're doing to support it. So interact.
Okay. So I'm doing my